Hey, what's going on? Hope you guys are having a good week so far. Welcome to family time. It's Thursday, so glad I could. Gotta get to spend a little bit of time with you guys today. I just came inside, running around, trying to escape the mosquitoes because it's spring and more mosquitoes. So anyway, hope you guys are doing okay and not pulling your hair out. We're getting there, right? I do realize though that I'm doing something a little bit more than I usually do, or at least have over the last handful of years. I'm watching the news a lot more lately. I could probably count on one hand how many times I'd watch the news in like a calendar year, and sometimes it's no hands. And I just I remember watching it all the time growing up, like with my parents and stuff in the mornings and evenings and all that, just to kind of keep up. I just don't do it anymore, and it's not because I don't want to stay informed. I guess I just have Twitter for that now. So maybe news habits are a little bit different. I think that's a millennial thing. So that's how it is. Welcome to the new culture, right? Anyway, now that we're neck deep in this whole quarantining thing, and with things being shut down, I'm glad that some things are starting to open back up, or at least there's more hope for that, right? And it's a little confusing because like every state's doing their own thing at their own pace, and our state is certainly no exception to that. So the reason that I watch the news anymore is to try and figure out what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. But in interacting with other people through social media or just simply by changing the news station, it doesn't take very long to realize that people aren't on the same page with this thing. It's sort of the human condition, though, right? I mean, we could take the same event or same bit of information, and one group of people comes to one conclusion, while another group of people comes to the opposite conclusion. And it's the same information. It's crazy. I mean, I guess it's sort of like this. So I'm gonna use a sports analogy because I'm desperate to talk about sports, even if it's for a second. Um, so baseball sounds like it's coming up right around the corner, which is nice. Again, I need it back in my life, but it sounds like we're getting close to that. But one of the more stressful parts of the season, at least for a Cardinals fan, is the inevitable 4-game road series at Wrigley against the Cubs in mid-September to determine who's going to get first place. Don't know why the schedule makers keep doing that, but it's that way every year, and it drives me nuts, and I'm always more stressed out than I need to be. And inevitably, we get to like the eighth inning of a tie game. It's the third or fourth game in the series, and the winner walks away with first place. It's a big deal. So like, I'm gonna give you scenarios. So like, imagine that catcher Yadier Molina is up at the plate. He's got a 2-strike count. The crowd is very loud, trying desperately to will Molina to lose focus and strike out. But instead of striking out, he hits a long fly ball down the left field line, and it looks like it could either go fair or foul. The camera angle doesn't really give us a clear picture of it. And Cardinal fans watching are just convinced that's a home run. It's absolutely fair. All these, everybody in the media is out to get us. Like, they're here to tell us that it's a foul ball, but we're here to say it's a fair ball. And Cubs fans will do the exact opposite. It's amazing that they'll say, well, it absolutely went foul. You can't tell. How can you not tell? You're crazy to say that it went fair. And it's funny because, again, they're looking at the exact same information. They're watching the same things, but they're convinced that the outcome is different. Same thing happening, two different people coming to two different conclusions. Like, and the thing is, you could hook them both up to a lie detector test, and they'd both pass it because they're just so convinced that their side is right. And it's wild, but that's humans for you, right? We've been like that forever, really. Any number of things can contribute to us behaving like this. As in the case with with that baseball analogy a minute ago, if your parents raised you as a Cardinals fan, Yachty hit that home run. And if you were raised as a Cubs fan, you know that ball went foul. Our backgrounds and upraising will determine quite a bit about how we process things. I bring that up because as we start moving towards getting things back to normal, or at least a little bit more so, you're going to hear about a million different opinions about what society should be doing right now. Everything from we should open everything up right away to if you leave your house, you're a monster, and really anything in between. And it's crazy that we're seeing the same data, the same information, and we're interpreting it in opposite directions. Now, if we just keep those opinions to ourselves, or deliver those opinions when we're asked to do so, I think we'd be a much more pleasant society. But you know as well as I do, that's not quite how this works. Fortunately, we know that people are quite fond of expressing their opinions, whether you want to hear them or not. That's what people do. And also, unfortunately, we like to fight when when other people's opinions don't line up with ours. It's a tale as old as time. It's Cardinals fans against Cub fans. It's Bears fans against Packers fans. It's Democrats and Republicans. I could go on, and most of us fit on one side or the other of those discussions, and we all have differing opinions. That's inescapable. But I'm not even saying that that's the bad thing. It's what makes us human. Like, diversity is a beautiful thing, right? But what makes it ugly is when we decide to fight about it. And as I said before, humans are going to human. I mean, we're going to fight. Fighting's going to happen. It's just the way it goes. But as Christians, this is where it really hits home. As Christians, we're called to live a little differently than that. I came across this section of 1 Thessalonians the other day, and it really clicked with me. So Paul is writing to the church in Thessalonica, and he's encouraging them to live in such a way that makes God happy, that we're living in such a way that pleases God. And that sounds obvious, right? Of course we should be living to please God, but listen to the way Paul describes what that looks like. And it's super applicable today, especially with the pressures of, one opinion versus the other. But this is what Paul says. This is how he describes it should look like, especially in how we should treat others. This is what it says. Make it your ambition to lead a quiet life. You should mind your own business and work with your hands, just as we told you, so that your daily life may win the respect of outsiders, and that you will not be dependent on anybody. So, the comment sections of the internet are, in fact, the inner circle of hell, right? I'm pretty sure that's in the Bible somewhere. It's the place where unwarranted and unwanted opinions fly unabated. I remember when that audio clip, I was last year, maybe it was 2 years ago, that either said Laurel or Yanni, and it went viral, and I saw otherwise normal people resort to bullying and name calling because they disagreed about what was being said, Christians included. And that sounds crazy, right? Well, what does Paul say we should be doing instead? He says, mind your own business, so that your daily life may win the respect of outsiders. I don't know how throwing an online fit helps us win the respect of outsiders. Or the respect of anybody, for that matter, included in our own party. Guys, we're always going to have different opinions on things, okay? That's what makes us human. It's what makes us diverse, and that's the way God created us. We're going to just be different, and that's good. But especially now when things are as sensitive as they are, I encourage you as Christians to not let the opinions of others drive you to say or do something that runs contrary to Christ. Live in such a way that gains the respect of non-Christians. That means refusing to give in to the temptation to fight or to make fun of someone who has a different opinion than yours. Make it your goal to lead a quiet life, one that reflects the love and kindness of Jesus. Sometimes that means keeping your mouth shut. Sometimes that means avoiding a fight when it's obvious that you might win. Here's the deal. The world is going to survive without another fight in the comment section. I promise. It's going to keep moving on. And if you choose not to type those words out, the world will continue. And you'll have earned an opportunity to be kind by simply being quiet. Mind your own business, says Paul, so that we might win the respect of others. Be the kind and loving person that Jesus created you to be. And sometimes that means just being quiet. It's hard for us to do as Americans sometimes because we feel like our opinion is worth our weight in gold, right? But that's the challenge. There's going to be plenty of opportunities for you to do that this week and moving forward, especially as we kind of get back to normal, and recounting some of this stuff, what we should have been doing, what we should not have been doing, or whatever. And I encourage you guys, be respectful and live in such a way that is respectable to others. You're going to be amazed about what people think of you then. Love you guys. You guys have a good week, and we will see you next time, okay? Enjoy your weekend that's coming up. That's exciting, huh? See you later. Next time.